Hi all, welcome back. Max's view of the world. Missed you. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for my critics. Without you, I couldn't formulate my ideas. Today's topic is coronavirus back there again. Um, the story just keeps on going, just keeps on giving. Well, accordingly, they reckon that they can put 3 million Muslims and Christians back into labour camps and push that Chinese economy up because these people don't get sick. They've been in a sort of a container ship type buildings, and somehow they weren't sick. This must be the apocalypse. Apparently, Christians don't get sick, children don't get sick. Well, it obviously must be man-made because we know that China had a lab share program, and that was in my previous video. So we go back to my previous video now, just to bring everyone up to date. So in my previous videos, we had China with a lab share program, coronavirus. They were sharing Ebola and Corona. They shared it to a lab, and then we're told the only level 4 lab is in Wuhan. Just happened to be the place of the lockup. But they wanted to blame bat soup on the market, which was 300 yards. 300 yards from the lab. And it's obvious with the safety practices of Chinese and everything else that we would blame them for safety. But more than anything else, we know that they've heavily invested in the West, that they were happily printing money, just printing it and just buying us out. I mean, they had the ghost cities and the fake investing. So somehow they've just defeated capitalism, defeated them. They've falsely invested in our economy with money laundering. So here we are, we're going to attack the little money launderer, and we have the big money launderer of Chinese just buying us all out. And how dare anyone try and money launder the government, yet, the government's going to receive money laundering money from China, and no one does anything about it because we love that Chinese money. We even have the NBA, they're going to tell off, China for remember that? Tell them off for the Muslims and Christians in camps. And then they said they knew they were dummies. So they go up there and apologize. We know nothing about Chinese politics. They did a reversal. But they didn't explain why. They just said that they were dum-dums. So it's terrible what's going on, the NBA. I mean, the power of money, the power of money and receiving money, and Hollywood and everybody else is affected by this Chinese money. We have the platforms, there's still free speech here. If it wasn't for Trump, this would be all over. YouTube, Facebook would all be Chinese owned by now, because Trump boosted that economy. He's the top richest country in the world now, and they're the top exporter of oil, and we know from the Arab countries that that will go far. So now we're being told that this coronavirus thing is well, they're infecting us all with Iranians. It looks like to me that they've put sick people on a plane. We've got our first case in New Zealand. I mean, everyone else seems to have their first case, and it seems to be Iranians now. Iranians are infecting everybody. Well, not just Iranians, people that go from our country, New Zealand. Why would you be in Iran? Why are you there? Even if you're an Iranian, why are you in Iran? Why would any New Zealander be there? I mean, you had the bombings and Trump taking out people in Iraq, and it was Iranian, and they took out a general there, and then they're talking about doing things in Iran, and then they can take people out there, and all of a sudden you think that's a good country to visit, and you're sick, and you're doing business in Iran. What kind of business do you do in Iran? I mean, it's not the, I mean, those people are suffering, they're lacking medication over there. I mean, it's also not the perfect place. So we have these ghost cities. Remember, we have the ghost cities, and they had to have real investments, so they needed to buy out the land and outpriced all the other investors, and bought the land and bought the forestry and wanted that raw product, bought out each of the Pacific Islanders, bought out their raw product, and then they started building these ghost cities. Now we've got videos of empty streets in China, and it's like, well, that's that's not very abnormal because they already have ghost cities there. So this thing could be staged. I mean, I'm sure that there is a flu there, right? There definitely is a flu going on. I mean, made in China. I mean, all these things are made in China. Bird flu, made in China. Everything's SARS, made in China. Everything's made in China. Um, how can they be responsible for everything? You know, why are all the diseases starting there? And they have this Wuhan lab, you know, and obviously they shut down the city. You know, they locked it up so nobody could cross those borders. I mean, how much information do we need before we start questioning the Chinese story? You know, we had the incubation period increased from 2 weeks to 24 days, 27 days. Some of the story just doesn't add up. So it does look like there's a bit of theatre to it. They could collapse capitalism. Capitalism could come down. And so we really need to be wary of China. Be very, very, very wary of them and everything that they stand for. Anyway, that's all for now, guys. And on the safety thing, fill up with vitamin C, because vitamin C is very effective. Fill up on that. I'm trying to think some of the other things. Don't shake hands with people. Be friendly, but you know, it seems to spread by touch. We're told it spreads by air, that it's viral. And you know, we had the Chinese and Iranian, even Italy, spraying into the air with bleach and stuff. But now we're told that it doesn't spread by air. So I'm not really sure on that one, but touching people, touching chairs and arms, once you touch them, make sure you wash your hands. You don't want to put your hands to your face after touching anything. If you hop in a public vehicle or hop in a public place and touch things in a public place like the door handle, anything, just be wary. So just be more careful when you're out there, but at the end of the day, I don't think you need to wear masks. I think the mask thing is a little bit unnecessary. You need to live with some dignity, and if you're going to die at the end of the day, you're going to die. I mean, there is a life beyond this life. Obviously, when you look at flat Earth versus round Earth, then you realize there's more to this planet. Everything is deception. We had the Las Vegas deception as well. We had the 9/11 deception. Everything's deception. I mean, buildings just don't come down like that, like a like a demolition. And then you had the Las Vegas incident, was just put it down to one guy, when it was obviously a drug shootout. And then you had the purge in Saudi Arabia that came after Las Vegas, which was the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life, where they used and I forget the robot's name, Sophia, that's it, Sophia the robot. They had a presentation, and then they had all the leaders of Saudi Arabia under hotel arrest and rounded them all up, put them under hotel arrest, which was strange because that happened straight after Las Vegas and also happened straight after Trump's visit. So there may be a lot more going on than we know, and because at the end of the day we are not very important, and that's why NASA lies to us, China lies to us, everyone is lying to us. Theatre is part of the game now, part of how things work, and you really need to think, you know, why do you think that this is a virus from bat soup? Well, we know it's not. We know it's man-made. So you need to rethink the whole thing and look at deception. Look at it properly, and don't worry about a disease. At the end of the day, I mean, you're going to die from something. I mean, the flu virus was around, and a lot more people had that. So there's a bigger chance that you'll be okay from this. So Yeah, God bless everybody, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you all. Bye.